So, does anybody like magic? Anybody like magic? All right. Well, we have a treat for you tonight. Our performer is Andrew Evans. He has been a professional magician since he was 12 years old. Any 12-year-olds in here? Right. Some of us feel 12, or in Paul's case, act 12 from time to time. And you know what? He doesn't really care for tricks. Instead, he prefers to create wonder. He designs, builds, and performs one-of-a-kind illusions and consults with other performers. You can see his TED Talk that was performed at TEDx Stanford. It's called Designing Wonder, the Intersection of Magic and Design. And he's going to share some of that with us tonight. Outside of magic, he has designed and built high-end tree houses. So if anybody has any treehouse projects they need help with. And most recently, he co-founded Confetti, which is a company that creates in-home date experiences for couples, which is apparently a different kind of magic, I think. He has a bachelor's in engineering from Brown and a master's in product design from Stanford. And very soon, he's going to start working with our friends at IDEO as a product designer. So with that, please give a warm welcome to Andrew Evans.
Excellent. Oh, good, this is on. Well, wow, a lot of folks. I'd actually like to start with a question. And that is, how and where do we find wonder? And don't bother Googling it, because the third hit is Wonder Bread, and that's just so not what we're after. All right. If, however, you insist on using that search bar, try searching for the phrase, the fifth element. You'll come across the popular foursome of earth, wind, water, and fire. But the ancient Greeks believed in a fifth. Now, they thought this element to be intangible, mysterious, never quite understood, but entirely necessary. And it wasn't until all five came together that you could achieve the greatest mystery of all. See, it took a little wonder to create life. Now, so I've been doing magic for 14 years, since I was 12, and well, it's been a good time, but I've only been here at the Bay Area for about 2 years, so I'm curious, show of hands, trying to get a feel for the audience. How many of you have never seen me perform magic before? Hands up. Let's see. Oh, wow, new crowd. Okay, good. Hands down, hands down. And how many of you will be seeing me perform here tonight for the first time? Hands up. Hands up. 1, 2, 3. Oh, about the same, about the same. Okay. Some of you missed that, but that's fine. Okay, so tonight, this is going to be fun, but I thought it would be fun tonight to actually start by teaching you guys a magic trick. How does that sound? Do you want to learn a trick? This is going to be cool. Okay, I'm a little rushed to get out here. I'm not warmed up. I like to warm up before I perform. So I'm going to do a warm-up, a magician's warm-up, but I thought you guys could all do it with me. This is fun. You'll learn how to warm up when you guys become magicians. So here you go. Take your arms, stick them straight out in front of you. Good. Nice and straight. This is like a thing in yoga. Imagine the line that goes longer than your arm. Yeah, that's good. Okay, excellent. Wiggle your fingers. Good. And now nice and rigid. Excellent. Twist your hands so the thumbs are pointing down. Good. All right, take your right arm, put it over your left, and interlock your fingers. Yep. Now, we're not going to go up through the middle. It's not that one. All right, okay. Keep them interlocked. Keep them interlocked. Hold them nice and tight. Got it? Okay. Now, on the count of 3, we go 1, 2, 3. It's okay. It's a magician's thing. It's a magician's thing. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's okay. I'm feeling warm. I'm feeling good. So let's do some magic. All right. I'm going to show you a trick, and then we'll break it down and show you what it looks like from the backstage version. This is a great trick. Classic trick. It is called the mystery, the ancient mystery of the red scarf. All right. Need my red scarf. I've got. It's here. Excellent. There we go. Ancient mystery of the red scarf. This is a good one. You take the scarf. Show it to you first. You take the scarf and shove it into your fist. There's not really a term for this. This is what we would call shoving a scarf into your fist. Nothing terribly difficult. Once that gesture has been accomplished, then you say the magic words. Anyone know what those are? Oh, that's old school. Come on, abracadabra. No, that's a good one. But here, tonight, the magic word is wonder. Just like that, the scarf is gone. In its place is an egg, and the scarf goes all the way over here into my pocket. There you go. I'll take that from the front row. That was nice. Thank you. Yeah, but no, it's actually sort of a stupid trick. I'll teach you how to do it. Here's what you're gonna do. Go home tonight, you wanna impress someone. You're gonna get yourself a scarf, about this big. That's nice. Excellent. Then you're gonna get yourself a second red scarf. Whoa, there we go. Notice, actually, these scarves do not even need to be red, but if you change the color, you gotta adjust the title of the trick at the beginning. Right? So that's all. Also important though, you do want your scarves to be the same color, otherwise it doesn't work as well at the end. Okay, so 2 scarves, same color, all is well. You then are gonna get yourself an egg. Now you need to cut a hole in the egg, about the size of your thumb. Sorry, also important, make sure you remove the contents of the egg. Otherwise you're gonna get your scarves all dirty. That's how it works, don't do that. Okay, so you take one of these scarves, crumple it up into a ball before the trick starts, and put it down here into your pocket. Now, no one knows you have that in your pocket, so you have what we in the magic business refer to as the element of surprise. It's a good one. All right, you take the scarf and you shove it into the egg. Again, this is not anything other than what it sounds like, shoving a scarf into an egg. Now, you say the magic words, which in all honesty could be anything. It could be wonder, it could be it could be abracadabra. You show them the egg, reach into your pocket, pull out the scarf, and you got a magic trick. That's how, does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, here's why I say it's not a good trick. And I must admit, you guys are excellent on this, but sometimes the front row gets real belligerent, and they want to see your egg. Now, you cannot let them do that on account of the hole. Doesn't work. Well, I'll tell you what, there is one thing you can do, and do this, be very sneaky about it, do not let anyone see. But what you can actually do is peel the hole right off the egg. And then flick it somewhere where no one's gonna see. And then of course you can pass out this egg, show it around, because it is entirely real. So there you go. It's a good trick. You guys can do that one. It'll be excellent. There we go. All right, so tonight we're gonna do a little talking, I'm gonna do a little performing, I'm actually gonna do a little teaching, real teaching that is, which is different for me because magicians don't usually reveal their secrets, but that's what tonight's all about, sharing with you some of the ways in which we can add a little more wonder to this world. Now, as a magician, I don't really think about just tricks, all right? If it feels like I'm pulling a fast one on you, it doesn't feel good, it feels frustrating, it's not a positive emotion. And magic, when it's done well, good magic should be an inspiration because it opens our eyes to a world unbound by the word impossible. Now, design does the exact same thing. Think about the first time you flew on an airplane or kids walking through the gates of Disneyland, the look on their face, right? Design allows us to put a momentary pause on the reality that we thought we knew and engage with something that's really only existed in our imaginations, all right? So the question then becomes, how do we take these invisible things and make them a reality? And that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit here tonight. But see, I think magicians and designers, this is their job. That's what they're doing every single day. And actually, the way that they go about doing it is remarkably similar, although they might not know that. So here, take a look at this example, something we've all seen. The iPhone. You got to admit, this thing changed the world when it came out. We interacted with the world in a very different way. And it's sexy. Look at that thing, huh? Look at how the edges are tapered so the profile seems impossibly thin to contain the power within. Came out in like 2000 something. Incidentally, magicians have actually been tapering the edges of tables since the early 1900s, so an audience like yourself would be unaware that a girl could be fitting on the inside. Shh, don't tell. All right, but this is a good thing to break down. When you're looking at a magic trick, you break it down in kind of 2 ways, the effect and the method. The effect is the thing that the magician's accomplishing that's supposedly impossible. So here, cutting a girl in half. Great. A good effect is something that's simple, clear, to the point, and impossible. It works. The method is then the way that you accomplish this, the tricky little bits of business. I don't have another slide. The tricky little bits of business, right, that the magician does behind the scenes in order to accomplish the effect. Now, the thing is, the point of magic is to make the method invisible. You don't want to see it. It should be completely gone. And this is exactly what designers do as well. Think of all the great products and services out there where you don't actually really make yourself aware of the fact that someone's been working on that for like 20 hours. It just feels very natural, feels by itself a good thing. There's a quote from, I'm going to butcher the French, but his name is Antoine Saint-Exupéry. He wrote The Little Prince. He said, I'm going to butcher this. He said, A designer knows he's achieved perfection not when there's nothing else to add, but when there's nothing left to take away. And it's all about showing that effect in its purest form right there. Same with magic. You don't want to see the method, no distractions, just the effects. Now, I could talk for hours about how magicians make these methods invisible. It would be a fun talk. I'm happy to do it afterwards. But I want to focus on one that I find really interesting, which is misdirection. All right? Specifically, the misnomer that is misdirection. And where did the little white ball come from? Okay. So, you don't know where the ball came from, but you feel misdirected, so this trick becomes little more than an intellectual puzzle missing a piece. Good magic doesn't feel like deception, and often that's because you're allowing the brain to conceal the method, right? That's the best way to make it invisible. Hide it somewhere in our subconscious, the place we literally never think to look. Our brain's been programmed to make assumptions all the time. It's how we get through daily life. And if you can harness those assumptions, it makes magic a lot more powerful. Speaking of assumptions, I don't even wear glasses. But you assumed. So a good example of this, in magic at least, one of my favorite tricks from the very old, like turn of the century, a magician would get up on stage, show a piece of paper front and back, roll it up into a cone, and then pull a bunch of stuff, flowers, doves, all of that. Today, this is sort of a silly trick. It's just a guy with a piece of paper pulls stuff out. There are a billion ways you could do it. The reason it was effective back then is because every week, a family would go to the grocery store, order a pound of flour, a pound of sugar, whatever, and the guy behind the counter would take a piece of paper, give it a little wave, roll it into a cone, pour in the flour and the sugar, twist it up, there you go, you can go home. So that's a gesture that people saw every single week. It was part of their everyday existence. So a magician doesn't even need to say, look, this is normal. Everyone just assumes that. That's sort of what the brain's doing for you. And so when you can hide those methods in that part of the brain, no one's ever going to see it. And it's good. However, you got to admit, to design a trick like that, it takes a lot of knowledge about people, and you've really got to understand folks and their context in the world and how they engage it. In design, we call this empathy. And it's the first step, always, of any design. You've got to know your people, what their context is, what their needs are, and then design for a place of that. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a really beautiful product. Oh, we got this still. Sorry. You're going to end up with a really beautiful product, but it doesn't have any... Sorry. Really beautiful product that doesn't have any sort of meaning. You don't know how to use it. It doesn't really matter if it exists in the world. And that's just not ideal. Same with magic. I can spend hours practicing sleight of hand, doing any sort of work in front of a mirror, but ultimately, unless those are just tools used to create an emotional response in the minds of an audience, it's totally meaningless. And now, here's the thing. This is where design and magic are similar, but I actually think design's got a leg up. Because for magic, all of these things that I'm trying to create, these emotions, this wonder, it's kind of bound to the stage. It's up here with me. But design's got the potential to put magic into the hands of other people. So you're engaging with it in your everyday life. And then suddenly we begin to see a world that's just opened up and full of infinite potential, right? Now, I think, as a user, this does require going out on a limb, taking a little leap of faith. But it's by engaging in this uncertainty that we learn as children and love as adults. And so for me, it's right there. As we pursue those things that are just out of reach, that's where we find wonder. And so to end here tonight, I'm going to try to take my own advice and do a little something that puts magic in someone's hands, kind of is about people, and hopefully has a little bit of meaning. And to do this, I'm going to need to have someone help me from the audience. If there's maybe, oh, thank you. I love the enthusiasm. But if there's a lady who's maybe got a ring or something of meaning, a small, do you have one that you can take off?
Which one do you want?
Let's do whichever one you want to give me. That's great. Actually, hold on to that for a second. Let me get this. And that's got some sort of significance for you? Good. I promise I won't do anything bad with it. But yes, things with meaning tend to go a little bit better with this. So, all right, you'll get it back. There you go. In fact, actually, wrap it up here so it stays nice and safe. What was your name?
Danielle.
Danielle. Thank you, Danielle. This is a lovely ring. Very nice. All right, we'll put it in here. And thank you guys, by the way, for listening. Enjoy.